Hi, girly.
Hi, girly.
I'm Eliana,
And I'm Derek.
and this is
The book club
For
for
the
the
Girlies.
girlies.
On today's episode of For the Girlies, we're going to be chatting about,
From Scratch by Timby Locke.
but before we get started, you guys, we got some business to take care of. So
Mhm.
please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you're always notified when we post.
And make sure you are following us on all of our socials. The links are down in the description box below.
Please make sure that you are kind to everyone in our
Yes.
comment section as well. I forgot to mention that.
Yes, always be kind. And there will be spoilers. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
spoiler adverse, adverse. If you're spoiler averse, please you know, don't turn away from the video. Just turn the volume down a little low. Let us get that view, and then come back and watch our video.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I think we're
Mm-hmm.
ready to get started.
Do it.
Okay. Like we said, From Scratch by Tembi Locke. It's a
Oof.
memoir.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've seen the Netflix show. We did before we read it. Netflix show had us in tears the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I think at least half of the episodes I was
Yeah.
bawling.
Which I can concur. Half of this book also had me in
Yeah,
tears.
yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
I do not recommend reading in public. Multiple coworkers were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yes." Like I'm okay. I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, she's telling the story about partially about her marriage and her husband's death, but I felt the majority of it was about widowhood,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was interesting because it definitely differed to the Netflix series.
Yeah, I said a bunch, but I agree that it's also about grief and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with grief
Mm-hmm.
and how you overcome grief.
Mm-hmm.
Overcoming grief rather.
Yeah.
I would say that it's an epic tale of love and loss and finding your way. That's what I said.
Okay. I think that's a really good description.
Yeah.
Now, would you say it was a long or a short read?
It's a short read. It's a quick read. You?
So, yes, it's a short read, but it also felt really long sometimes to me.
Hmm. I had to stop for a couple days because, like I said,
Yeah,
it was a lot, and then but it was a fast read for me. But I understand.
yeah. It was just, it was very descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's not that it was bad, it just,
Was wordy.
yeah, it took some time for me to get into it because I was reading a lot of descriptive things.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, in terms of how the book is formatted, it's just from Tembi's point of view
Mm-hmm.
because it's her
It's a
memoir.
memoir. Jumping into our likes and dislikes. Let me hear you. What did you like about this
Oh,
book?
me go first?
You can go
Okay.
first.
Okay, so off the bat, Sato and Tembi's relationship is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like ultimate goals there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love that her and Nona get together as friends by the
Mm-hmm.
end. I just think that was really significant. I liked that she added the details of the Arab and Jewish influences on the Sicilian prayers, and that she mentioned the way that Italy was colonized and how it led to a diverse culture and people. I thought that was really important. Um, I loved their family dynamics. The fact that he was so loved by her family, and that then she was so loved by his family and like his entire community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also loved the scenes where we see Zoila mourning and how Tembi navigated that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just such a how do you how are you such a deep child? That's crazy
Mm-hmm.
to me. And then I also liked the theme of forgiveness in their families as well, especially because they were of different cultures. So
Yeah.
like the things that they could be angry about, like I wouldn't understand. I'm not from there. I'm not
Mm.
Sicilian. I don't understand that. So I think that it is frivolous,
Yeah.
and for them it is not. and to see them work through that. And I think one of the quotes in the book that I highlighted, I didn't write it down, but I think one of the quotes was like, I think it was Tembi's grandmother that said something about like everything before this was just the road that got us here.
Mm.
That was it. And that's how it's not to minimize what happened, but in their case it wasn't something that could not be overcome. So I loved that.
Hmm.
What about you? What are your likes?
Uh, I really, really, really like this book. This story. I love love, and this was
Hmm.
such an epic love story. Um, like we said, between Timby and Saro, um, and also just like their family, their community. I also thought it was so well written, uh, very detailed, like you said. Uh, no wonder the show was so impactful. I felt
Hmm.
like I was watching it as I,
Happen.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was, that's how vivid she wrote it, that the script wrote itself. It, it was so good. And there are like differences, but like the heart of it is there. Like bravo, Timby. Um so I also said that I liked their family dynamics. I said I loved the way that this family had each other's backs. The way that they supported Timby and Sato during his illness. Um, After he's gone, the way that they still just have each other's back, it was so admirable.
Yeah.
Um, I wrote it I wrote that I didn't even have the words to describe how I felt reading that kind of support and love that that family had for one another.
Hmm.
Um, that it felt like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Like that's like this woman's life feels like a fairy tale. It's like it was like a fictional story, and it's crazy to me that this is her real life,
Yeah.
because she had this epic love, she had this like fantastic family. I'm like, no, get out of here.
Something in there was wrong.
Right. She lost her husband, of
Yeah.
course, but it really was like I was like, no, like unbelievable, unbelievable. Um, Blessed for sure. Um, Odd. I said that I liked. Sorry, that Sato's death happened earlier in the book, because
Mm.
we had to. If you watched, it happens. You we progressively see it happen,
Hmm.
and I felt like I just got to like get it out, and then I could like
Move
I can move
forward.
forward. Exactly. I loved her summers in Italy. I loved her
Hmm.
growing with um, Nona and Zoila. Her friendship. What was the little girl's name? Rosalia.
Hmm.
Loved it. Loved her relationship in the community. That they were called the house. And there's a man that got. He speaks English. We need
Yeah.
you. Like that she. Her relationship with the community as well. That they accepted her. It was beautiful. It really
Yes.
was. It was beautiful. I said that Saro had this great sense, or this sense of great respect for his family
Hmm.
and his culture and his traditions.
Hmm.
And like you said, didn't always make sense to me.
Hmm.
I couldn't always get behind them. Timmy didn't always understand them, but like even though he knew it really wasn't the way he wanted to live his life, he still respected it. Like he knew they wouldn't come to the wedding. He knew
Yeah.
he's like, this is like I don't like it,
Hmm.
but that's what it is. And I was like, you know what? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm rocking with you. I get it. I don't know that I could have gone through with it, but like I get it. I admired that in him.
So we don't have to talk about this in the actual thing, but I think it's part of that is kind of like an immigrant experience
Sure.
because like you you have the culture that is the one that you're raised with,
Mhm.
and then there's you see that there's something else.
Mhm.
So obviously he saw it before he even left Italy,
Yeah.
but he did kind of immigrate within Italy anyway. He
Mhm.
left Sicily and he went to another part of Italy where things were different, and he chose a different life for himself. even still there. And I
Yep.
feel like that's kind of what happens when you're an immigrant. It's kind of like you carry it with you, you know how it goes, but like other people are not going to understand it.
Yeah.
And like you always have that duality.
Absolutely. I think I'd like to keep it in because I think that that's important. I think I also thought
Yeah.
that it
It's
didn't
kind
make
of like
sense to
code
me because
switching.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't understand it because I've been here.
Yeah, and like you've always been here.
Here, exactly. Literally.
It's like I mean I've always been here,
Yes.
but there is part of me that
Your
is not
story is not
here.
doesn't start here.
Yeah,
And you can't yeah.
the thing that raised me is not here.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it is a thing to get
Mm.
used to, and to have to like explain to people is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're moving on into dislikes, and I only had two.
Me too.
The first one was that I did feel like it was slow sometimes because of
Hmm.
the descriptiveness. It kind of reminded me of Akatar.
Mm. Too many words.
Yeah, I think I'm just not that person. However, she definitely drops you into Italy,
Mm. So yeah,
which I love.
paints a beautiful picture.
Yeah, I don't I think because I'm, from the US, I don't need a description of New York and LA.
Hmm.
The Italy parts, though, you eat it up a little more because
For
it's
sure.
beautiful
Hmm.
and it's so different. And you can tell that, like, it's like you're experiencing it with her, which I
Hmm.
think you just said, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is your story, too. It's kind of what it is.
It is.
And then the other dislike that I had was that it was just heartbreaking how Sato's family was unwilling to break with tradition to be with their son
Hmm.
or cousin or brother or whatever. That was it.
I also said his family. I said not going to the wedding, but also just not showing up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Yeah, that was just it was a dislike of mine watching it. It's a dislike of mine reading it. I can't imagine being. That's like me moving away from New York, right? My
Mm-hmm.
entire family is here,
Mm-hmm.
and I get married here,
Mm-hmm.
and no one comes. Like I don't. But my husband's entire family is there have and he's not from you know what I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
flew in from wherever, from a whole other country to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it broke my heart, and he just took it on the chin. Like he was just such a
Yeah.
sweet guy. She yeah. And then my other dislike was her friend Julie, who told her to leave him when he was sick.
But like you got why she said it though.
I get why she said it, but I was also like, girlfriend, what?
I wasn't mad at her because I got it. Like when she like described what it like her friend was basically just goading her because her friend had the same experience
Mm-hmm.
that she'd had. Her husband was sick
Mm-hmm.
and she lost him, and she basically told her, okay, people leave, right? You can leave him, you don't have to stay. And if you're going to stay, then choose to stay and do it fully.
Yes, I got it, but I also was like, I get it as a friend to say
Mm-hmm.
that to your friend
Mm-hmm.
who's in it, but as the friend in it,
Mm-hmm.
that's the last thing I want to hear. Like I feel like she can I don't I wonder what she like in the moment if she was actually able to like receive it.
She knew that she was going to be offended because she'd done it
Right, she
herself.
had been through
She'd
it.
been through
That's
it
why I say I
herself.
get it from the friend's point of view, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But as Timby, I was
And
like,
also, not that I've been through it, I haven't.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But I think going through it and being able to evaluate what happened back then in her own life, she might have thought, well, why? I feel like I wish I had someone who would have told
Told me
me.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. I
Not
get.
everybody operates with tough love. Not everybody does. But I
Yeah.
mean, maybe she knew her friend. Maybe she knew her friend
Could
was,
take it.
yeah,
Or yeah.
would eventually understand what it was that she was saying.
Exactly.
Or even if she didn't, when like we say, "Oh, I don't want to tell this person that I think their partner is cheating on them because they're gonna get mad at me."
Hmm.
Some of us choose to do it anyway, and even if you do get mad at them, they're okay with it.
True.
And maybe she's that kind of person because she knows I said it.
True.
You can be mad at me forever, but I said
True. That wasn't the day to tell me.
it. Tarek was telling me herself.
I was.
She said, "Don't talk to me that way."
Girl, what? Leave who?
It was very jarring. She said, "You know
Right.
he believed, right?" And I was like,
I said, Julie.
"Ma'am,
Not today. Not today, Julie.
why are you telling me I'm gonna leave my husband? Who do you think I am?"
Right. Like, I just feel like I would have been so offended. For real, in the moment. I would have been like,
You couldn't have said it in a nicer way, Julie.
and this is me reaching for things not to like, because it was nothing to really dislike.
Yeah, it was a good read.
It was. All right, so now we're moving on into our ratings. And if you're new here or if not, we do not rate things on a scale of 1 through 10 or 1 through 5 stars. We rate things on a scale of WTF was that?
Interesting, but wouldn't read again.
It was good.
Loved, would read again.
And how will I ever go on? So, E, how did you rate this book?
Okay, this is one of those moments where I break the scale.
Okay, that's fine. Break it.
I would say loved it was good. I don't need to read it again.
I also don't need to read it again.
Same like with the show. I don't need to watch that.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
ever.
why I was so hesitant to read it. I was like, why are you doing this to me, Eliana?
Thought it was necessary.
There are other black love stories.
There are.
There are. But none, I don't know, prove us wrong. Is there one as epic as this?
Yeah.
And
We
this
wanted
is
to do a
true.
memoir too, you guys. Just keep that in mind.
Yes. I did rate this. I was struggling too with breaking the scale. I feel like I break the scale a lot. So I battled on like loved, wouldn't read again, or only because I don't need that. But I settled on how will I ever go on, because like how has she gone on? We know because we read the book how, but but still I was just ugh, the gut wrenching.
Yeah, I don't know, pal.
It's a great book. I recommend.
Yeah. And now that we've completed our ratings,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to move along into our quiz portion.
Quiz. Pew pew pew.
Please comment if you love Derek's song.
We do.
So I'm going to be quizzing Derek. Are you guys excited? Because I have some Italian in here.
Why are you like this, bro?
I feel like it's easy. Anyway,
I don't speak Italian.
neither do I. Okay, number one. What does the following mean? Un piatto di pasta ti farebbe bene, amore. Okay? Is it A, a plate of pasta will do you good? B, eat this plate of pasta, it's good. C, a plate of pasta is always filled with love. Or D, pasta is good for the soul.
A.
Yes. There you go. Question number two. I really think all of my questions are easy.
Okay.
Question number two. Where did their wedding take place? Is it A, Sicily? Is it B, Florence? Is it C, Venice? Or is it D, Roma?
It's Florence.
You are correct. See, I told you they're
Mm,
easy. So, question number 3.
okay.
What is their wedding date? Is it A?
July 26th.
Woo! Yeah, you're right.
It was,
Why is it July 26th?
it's her birthday.
Yeah, I thought that was so
I
interesting.
know.
On which birthday?
Oh, her what birthday?
What year? Yeah.
25th?
Yeah,
Okay.
her 25th
I was
birthday.
locked in, Timby.
And then the final question is, what famous family owned the villa they were married in? Is it A, the Gucci family? Is it B, the Versace family? Is it C, the Armani family? Or is it D, the Ferragamo family?
Oh, Ferragamo.
Yep. I told you, I felt like my questions were
They
easy. Even the
were.
Italian one.
4 out of 4.
That's like a
Huh?
that's the first time. How
Shit.
many episodes have we done this for? This is the first time.
Moving it along to our
We should be celebrating.
we should. Go ahead.
Okay.
That was Dora.
Okay.
Lo hicimos.
We did it. Okay. So now we are in our big screen, small screen segment. Got any thoughts?
Goof. I think this would be a really great small screen
Well, do
miniseries.
you?
Yeah, Netflix should pick it up.
Oh, really?
Zoe Saldana. Um, I don't know the actor's name.
Mm, do better work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So obviously small screen, right? It's happened. And watch it. But I wrote that I really appreciated how true to the story it was. And like
Hmm.
I said earlier, that's just like a nod to the writing that Timby did. Like it literally wrote itself. Even the details that are different, like she's not an actress in the show. She's older in the show. The age gap isn't there in the show. Um the details are still there though. Like the heart of it
Yeah.
is still there. You don't miss out on any of the heart of the story. Any of that, all of that is the same. Little minute details are different, but it truly does remain the same. And that's like the first time I've ever watched and read something where I can say that.
Yeah. I
Where I'm like, they didn't miss nothing.
I would agree that it was okay, so I actually enjoyed the series more than I enjoyed the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a big part of it was that they focused more on their love story.
They did. Mm-hmm.
I fell fully in love with Saru. That by the end when he was dying, it was like ripping my heart out of my body. Versus like you said in the book, we start off and Saru's going. And that's why I say that the to me I feel like the book focuses more on widowhood because like it's about this at least the second half or like
Mm-hmm.
2/3 of the book is her talking about trying to move on.
Yeah.
So I think I also missed that there wasn't, or maybe I just don't remember it correctly, but I feel like in the show there wasn't as much interaction with Nonna once he does pass
Pass.
away. Mm. Which, like I said, I really enjoyed it in this book that she had a great relationship with her by the end. And then I also liked that we got more in depth of his disease and the process of it all too in the show.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah.
show was.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That's what sparked because you said sorry Saldania's name. I think she and the actor who played Saro, I'm so sad that neither of us know his name. I think they did a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
Like they felt like they were.
They were really in love that they were those characters.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
they were awesome. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's it.
10 out of 10 for sure on the casting, on the execution of that. It does. I appreciated the series for the ride of it all,
Mhm.
for the details that we don't get in the book.
Mhm.
You know, the true ride of it all. Like, you know, every episode is like we meet him, we fall in love with him, we
Mhm.
lose him, we grieve him. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautifully done. To the point where like I remember my godmother had came over because this came out during COVID years. And my godmother came over and she was like, I watched this show this week called From Scratch, and we literally held each other's hand. Like we reached out and grabbed each other's hand and we're just like, "Oh my god!" We just cried. It was so good.
It's like when everyone finds out that it was based on a true
That's
story.
what it
That's
was.
that's the second like round of tears. Are you kidding?
Like, this not fiction. This not fiction. What do you mean?
I was gonna say it's a beautiful love letter to Sado, but it's so much more than that. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's immortalized him in such a way. I can't even believe that someone like him existed.
Exactly. Exactly. And um, her sister is was the showrunner and producer
Wow.
for the show. And I saw an interview of them on Tamron Hall, and she was saying how like she, you know, she had a front row seat of this love story, and she would tell her
Mm.
sister all the time like, this needs to be a book. Like, if you don't, she literally said to her, if you don't write this, I'll never talk to you again. Because she would write her these big descriptive emails during her summers in Italy, and like I miss him. I
Oh,
feel him here. You know what I'm here, and all of this. She said they were great emails. She was like, you need to write this.
you know, random thought. Um, I always wonder with memoirs because they have dialogue if people actually remember what was said or if they're just making
I
it
think
up.
that too. Is it how you're remembering it,
Yeah.
or is that what it was? And was it so impactful in your life that like
Yeah,
you just
like you
remembered
could
it?
yeah, you could remember what the exchange was.
Yeah,
I, I'd love to ask someone that
it
that's
was
written a
written. It's
memoir.
very. That's a good. Yeah, go ahead. I think there are obviously like moments, significant moments in your life where you remember, and I guess
Mhm.
that's what you write. But yeah,
Yeah.
for everything,
Especially this. This is like over 20 years of her
yeah,
life. That's a long time. And I'm sure she had to have been some version of removed from it to be able to write it
yeah.
all. Ah.
And like shout out to her brain for not like, you know how like when you're grieving,
You yeah,
you
you
black
forget
things
things.
out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there
Your
was a
memory can be shoddy because you've just like, you know, protecting yourself.
yeah, I guess there was a purpose in her remembering it all. Thank God.
Superlatives?
I don't have any.
I said too good to be true. Subtle.
That's a fact.
And ride or die, Timby.
No. Yeah.
You know? Did you relate? Who
To
can relate?
anybody,
Woo!
I don't I don't know that I mean, I guess a little to Saddle
Hmm?
with like the immigrant portion of it. But yeah, no, I don't think I related to anybody. Did you relate to anybody?
I did.
Who'd you relate to?
I said I related to both
Mm.
Timby and Sato. I related to Timby, and like there's like the obvious ways of Black American women were you know, both studied to be actresses
Mm-hmm.
in New England of all places. Um Issues with love. But most importantly, taking care of a loved one, no question asked, especially for like someone in your life who has done it for you, like no question asked. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
taking care of a loved one, no question asked, who has done everything for you, who you know who has been there for you through it all as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then also grieving your loved ones. I really there was a lot. There was a big part of her grieving journey that I like really related to. I did not lose a husband or a partner, uh, but I lost a lot of people at like a short amount of time a couple years ago, and I was just like, yeah, like this is how it feels. Um, and then I said Mr. Sato because he just loved so big, and I love big. I can't say that I've loved how he's loved, but I do love my people big. I love my family. Like family was a big
Hmm.
part of him, and I am loyal to my kinfolk, my skin folk for sure. So E,
Hmm.
would you read more from this author?
I don't know that she's written anything else,
I don't know either. But if
but
she did,
I enjoyed the show, and I feel like I would enjoy any on-screen production that she would put on.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. I don't know that she's written anything else either. But I enjoyed this, so why not?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like if she told the story of her new love, I think I might be interested in that.
I know I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Timothy. I'm happy you have found love,
I'm curious
but I don't
about
want to
it.
know.
I'm just so curious about it
True,
because
I am curious about it.
we ended the book and she was still obviously mourning.
Mhm,
I mean, Nonna had given her permission
mhm.
to move on, but I'm curious how that actually does how that works.
Yeah, and
Especially after someone like
I
Sato.
was gonna say, what does that mean? I always wonder in those cases when people have lost their spouses, and then they get with a new person, and it was this epic relationship that they had.
Mm-hmm.
How does this new person fit into that story?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like I would assume you're second, like
Mm-hmm.
best. Like that's how I think I would feel in that position, like
Mm-hmm.
that I'm second best, and I don't think anyone deserves to feel that way.
No.
Um, but I can't say that that's how you feel. So yeah, I'd be curious to see too.
I I like that is just making me think that I'd be curious to solely get his point of view.
Hmm.
It'd
Mm.
be interesting to like I said, I loved her on-screen adaptation of From Scratch. I feel like I would want to see it on screen as well from his point of view, how he navigates that, how he feels. Because maybe, like you said, he's just not that kind of person that would feel second best. I just want to understand how.
That's right. How do you not feel that way?
Yeah.
That's yeah. I don't know.
We only ever put ourselves in the place of Tembi,
Mhm.
of how she feels, of how it must be so awful.
Mhm.
And we don't ever get that perspective of the other
The other
person that
person.
comes in and they do build a life together.
That's an interesting. I'd love to read that story. I'd love to
Yeah.
read. Just love to see that show. Watch that movie.
Yeah, that's truly thought provoking. Let's stop remaking things.
Yeah,
Let's make
yeah.
things from different
Let's
perspectives,
mix
you
things
guys.
from scratch, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
So that wraps up that episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for part two, where we're gonna dig into our favorite quotes, moments, and theories. Also, we'll talk about what we learned.
Before we get before we leave,
Uh huh.
before we close this out,
Yeah, yeah,
make sure you like,
yeah. Uh
comment,
huh.
share, subscribe.
Mhm.
Make sure you hit the notification bell
That's
so that
right.
you're notified whenever we're posting. Make sure you follow us on all of the socials. That'll
She got it.
be down there. It's written. It's there. Okay. Thank you.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah. See you at the next meeting, girlies.
Bye,
Bye,
girlies.
girlies. I sing it different.
What do you say?
Mhm.
What was that?
That's how I sing it.
Dora?
Yep. After that whole little breakdown,
Maybe I ignore that part.
I, that's where my brain goes. So maybe I
We
remixed
did
it.
it. We did it. You do be remixing. Because after the do 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 do, all I hear is we did it. We did
Hold
it.
up. Oh, we see most. We did it. Dun 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 dun
Okay,
dun
yes.
dun dun.
I thought you were doing the beginning of the song. That's what was
No,
confusing me.
no,
Okay.
no.
No, you're right. You're right.